Welcome into this week's Chanticleer football update for game number 1 of the 2017 season. Great to have you along with us here on the Chanticleer Sports Network. My name is Joe Cashin, and joining me for this historic 2017 year as the Chanticleers begin their move to the Sun Belt Conference and the Football Bowl subdivision, the interim head coach for the Chanticleers, Jamie Chadwell. And Jamie, it's great to have you along with us. And what's been preseason like as we get ready to start this? We get ready to start this thing Saturday night against UMass. But first, I want to get an update on Coach Joe Moglia. Obviously, he's taking a medical sabbatical this year, and hopefully we'll be back in December. What's the update on him?
Coach is doing real well right now. The surgery went well. The medication he's on is doing working what it's supposed to do. He looks great. He's lost a lot of weight. He's in great shape. I don't know how. I think he's 68. He doesn't look a day over 67 is what I told him. So, but he's doing really well, and I think making the decision obviously was tough, but it's been the best for him. And he's looking really good.
What are your thoughts on preseason? Obviously, you were named as the interim head coach back in late July, right as camp got started. What are your thoughts as the Chanticleers get set to kick this thing off Saturday night?
Well, thoughts as far as taking over, that was interesting. It was the timing of it, just the having my mind away from that and then taking over. I thought that was a big challenge. With camp, this is the first year that I don't know most people know the NCAA allowed you to come in early, and so normally you don't come in until somewhere in the first week of August. We came in July, I think it was 28th or 29th. So we've been here a long time. So we were here a whole week for summer school still going on, and then you had basically 3 more weeks still before your first game after that. So it seems like it's been long and it's been grueling. I'm sure the players would tell you it's been there's been a lot of tired bodies, but I think it's served its purpose. We've tried to be smart. And I think you'll see a team that's fresh Saturday night and plays with a lot of passion.
As far as you're concerned, how have you settled in here to Conway, here to this coastal football program?
Well, it's been not as smooth as you want it to be with obviously some of the hiccups, but I tell you the program, the foundation that's built on, the people, this community. Every day I realize how blessed I am to be here and how fortunate I am to be here, and it's something that I'm thankful for, even through the ups and downs. Knowing where we've been and where we want to go and the type of young men that you get to work with every day, I'm definitely thankful for being here, and I'm glad to be a part in this, this historic year, especially just being able to be a part of that and what it's about and the foundation and the legacy it's leaving. Something pretty special.
How often do you and Coach Moglia talk?
We talk weekly, whether it's through text message or on the phone or whether I see him. Try to keep him abreast of things that are going on, especially if it's something that he needs to make a decision on. He still makes all the big decisions. If there's anything that's day to day, then I'll handle it. But if it's something that has to do with the players or the way we're practicing, or something discipline wise, we obviously, hey, what are you thinking here? What would you think? And so he's still involved in as far as that aspect. But he's also removed. He's not asking you hey, what'd you do at practice today, or hey, why are you running this play? He's not involved in that. He's trusting the coaches to do that. But we still want him involved too. So we're reaching out to him as well.
We'll take a break and come back with more of the Chanticleer football update right after this.
Hey, Grand Strand, FBS football is coming to your backyard. Kick off the first ever FBS season as the Shots open up against the UMass Minutemen Saturday, September 2nd. Get your season tickets to catch this historic game and 5 other action-packed home games at the newly renovated Brooks Stadium. Visit GoCCUSports.com or call 843-347-8499 for tickets, starting at $168 for all 6 home games. Be there, wear teal, be loud.
Back here on the Chanticleer football update as the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers get set to kick off the 2017 season Saturday night against UMass. And I'm joined by interim head coach Jamie Chadwell. And, Coach, we were talking a little bit about how you've settled in here to Conway and what the preseason's been like. Let's focus on some of the key performers for the team this year. And obviously I think one of the guys on offense that we will be relying on heavily is running back Oshamar Abercrombie.
We will be. Osh is one of the best kids that I've been around as far as the most accountable. He's a good player, but he's always trying to encourage his teammates. He wants everybody to do well. He's a great team player, great teammate, and we're going to have to lean on him. He's obviously got a lot of experience. We're very inexperienced at the other positions, really overall, with the exception maybe wide receiver. And so he's got a big burden to carry, but he's got the type of shoulders. You've seen the way he looks. He's got the shoulders that can carry that, and he wants to do that. And he's earned his time here by being a big-time contributor behind obviously a great player, and I think he's ready to make a mark, and you'll see him do that.
Wide receiver Chris Jones has had a great career through his first 3 seasons. Great special teams player, but he's also an outstanding wideout.
He is. You'll continue to see Chris, in the special teams and make plays there as a punt returner. But he's had a really nice fall camp. As receiver, he's really stepped up. We've got we got some young guys that are talented, but Chris is the main guy there that has the experience and has the ability to make some big, what we call winning plays, and he's made quite a few during fall camp. You'll see him, I think, have a breakout year this year.
The offensive line had to be a little bit retooled. Some guys graduated, some outstanding players. Who are some of the youngsters, some of the new guys that will be up front?
Well, we got quite a few. You're probably going to see us play 7 or 8 guys. Jamari McBride is a junior offensive lineman that's played quite a bit at center. You'll see him back. He's had a lot of experience. I think you'll see Adam Lawhorn that's played quite a bit at guard. We're going to have a redshirt freshman play, Trey Carter, that was redshirted last year. And then at our tackle position, Rodney Mitchell, who's played some back and forth. We moved him out to tackle, and he's given us some productive minutes there. And we've got quite a few. So you're going to see probably 7 or 8 and some young guys. We're very inexperienced there, as you know. And that's going to be I think those guys will have to grow up. You might even see a freshman, Brock Hoffman, play quite a bit. And Brock's had a good spring and fall. He came in early, and I think you'll see him get on the field as well. Okay,
clearly the number one question is, who is the quarterback? What's the plan there?
Well, we've got 5 or 6 that have been competing for the job, and they all have certain strengths and certain things that you hope they do better. We've got 3 guys that are sort of similar: Tyler Keene, Austin Wilson, Josh Stilley, that are good passers. We feel like can help us move the football. Then we've got 3 other guys: Dalton Demos, that's a transfer; Chance Thrasher, that's been here a while, has not played. And then Kilton Anderson, who's a little banged up right now. But those guys are sort of more dual threat guys. And we're trying to figure out which one can give us the best chance to be successful. And you'll see probably 2, 3, maybe more, maybe 4 of those. Austin Bradley, I'll throw him in there as well, who's played some. He's given us some quality snaps. There's quite a few. But the guy that we'll put out there and that'll end up being the guy consistently will be the one that we trust the most.
I think defensively this team has a chance to be very, very good. Who's the leader over on that side of the ball?
Well, I think you probably start with Shane, at linebacker, Shane Johnson, who's been a really good player. He's a vocal leader, and he's a really good player. Shane sees things at linebacker. You can't trick him, and he's a good player there. I think up front we've got a 2 deep that can contribute. We've had some, Dwayne, who's been here a while, has done a great job. Marcus Williamson, that's coming off the defensive edge. We've got a couple young guys that we feel like are going to be pretty solid players. So I think our strength is in our front 4 with Shane, and then I think Silas Kelly's going to be a good linebacker for us that is not got obviously playing. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And then secondary-wise has been the question mark. We've got some good talent there, but it's very unproven and not a lot of depth. And but I think our defensive coach has done a nice job back there of getting guys ready to play. Tony Chesley's a defensive back that's doing really good. Preston Carey, who's a young guy that I think you'll see a lot of playing time from. And then, the question's been safety is like who's the guy who's been most consistent. I think the guy that's really stood out in fall camp is Fitz Watley, that's had a pretty good fall camp. And I think you'll probably, when we roll it out there, you'll probably see him as one of the starting safeties.
In the kicking game, Evan Raymond is a preseason second-team Sun Belt Conference pick.
Our only Sun Belt Conference pick.
What do you expect from him in the rest of the kicking game?
Well, we work it a lot, and so the expectations there, we want the kicking game to sort of be a difference maker for us, and we put a lot of work into that. I think we have the skill returners. We mentioned Chris. Kayon's back. I think Kayon can be a punt returner or a kicker returner. I think he'll do a nice job for us. And then Evan's been pretty consistent, and so I mentioned earlier that. When you have some consistency in your kicking game, it makes things a lot easier. You don't have to worry about, are we going to have a chance to make this or not? You feel pretty good about it. Maybe changes your play calls a little bit. And so I've seen us be pretty productive. I think the one issue is in our kicking game overall, there's not enough depth. And so if something happens, we get an injury here or there, there's a lot of things that that we're going to have to work through, because we just don't have a lot of the depth there. But if Evan continues to perform the way he is, he'll live up to those preseason expectations.
Time for another break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up. We'll give you a preview of UMass 7 o'clock kickoff Saturday night here in Conway, here on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
So as you can see, at Coastal Carolina University, you can take a class or experience a class. Meet a Chanticleer or be a Chanticleer. Join a club or swing a club. Welcome to Teal Nation.
Back here to wrap things up on the Chanticleer football update on the Chanticleer Sports Network. Coastal Carolina kicks off the 2017 season Saturday night against UMass, and interim head coach Jamie Chadwell joins me once again. And coach, this UMass team is coming off a tough loss on Saturday night. They had Hawaii down by 2 scores in the second half. They let it get away from them. They lost the game 38-35. What were your impressions of that football game?
Well, I thought they were a good team. You know, and I think they play really hard. I think they're pretty well coached. They made some plays they needed to make there in the second half. They let get away from it. It might have been a turnover, a penalty, and it really changed the game. And so I think they've got some talent there, and they're probably a lot different. They're more of a pro-style team. Most people are spreading out. They're going to try to line up and come and get you.
Yep.
And they got big linemen, and then defensively, they've got some transfers on defense. They've got a new coordinator. They try to give you a lot of different looks and not let people. Try to hone in on what you're doing. So I think they do a good job there. They've got some solid players. You know, they're fighting. They've got that. They've lost a lot of close games. You know, and they're trying to get over that hump. So, but I expect a good team and probably a team to come in saying, "Hey, this is the team to get it over the hump." They're new. They're not. They don't know how the FBS is going to be. We got to jump on them and jump on them early. So, I'm sure they're confident coming into the game, but. I expect a great game.
A couple of guys that really impressed me on their football team. Both of these guys started out in the FBS. Their quarterback, Andrew Ford, a left-hander, started out at Virginia Tech. I think he's a crafty quarterback, and their tight end, I think, is their best overall player. He started out at Penn State, and that's Adam Brenneman.
Yeah, Adam, I think, was a 5-star recruit out of high school.
Sure was.
And, I've not read all his story, but got hurt and then got away from it and was back in, and he was very impressive. Nobody on Hawaii's team could stop him. And so we obviously know about him and have got to have a plan. He's the type of guy you got to sort of game plan around. And their quarterback did make some plays. He knows how to move around that pocket. He obviously, if they transfer from those places, talent's not the issue. So they have some talent. I thought that they both are pretty good players, and I think the running back's a good player. They're big up front. What we've got to do is be able to try to minimize their size advantage with our quickness. I think that's going to be the big key on defense.
Injury-wise, what does this team look like? What does your football team look like as it comes out of camp and gets ready for this season opener?
I feel pretty good. We've got a couple players that have some mild injuries. Maybe a mild ankle here, maybe a mild shoulder here or there, but no question marks as of right now. We've got one. That we're waiting on here. Marcus Williams will make one here. He's got a banged up shoulder, and he'll probably be a game time decision as far as whether he can go or not. He's basically the only one that we were counting on that we feel like so injuries should not be an issue unless something happens here soon.
Ought to be a great atmosphere. Hoping for a big crowd in the newly expanded 15,000 seat Brooks Stadium. Should get a lot of students and should get a lot of fans out for the very first FBS home game.
I would believe so. I'd hope so. This is first opportunity to ever witness an FBS game. That's a great opportunity, and we want to show people that making this jump that we're only on the field, the team that we have on the field is worthy of it, but the type of crowd that we have, that it's a home field advantage, that we've got 15,000 here every week, and then people are asking for more seats because they want to be a part of what's going on. So you're out there listening, we need you here.
Jamie, best of luck this Saturday night, and we'll see you right back here next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, for interim head coach Jamie Chadwell, my name is Joe Cash, and see you next time on the Chanticleer Football Update.